Are you always intimidated when you're searching for beginner tutorials on YouTube and you find piano experts or gurus saying they want to break down songs or chords for beginners, but they end up just showing off their repertoire and skills, and you realize it's not really beginner stuff, is it? And then you end up being more confused, needing to ask them questions in the comment section, but you'd rather not for fear of sounding stupid. Now, I've noticed that every time and time again, I've noticed that, and I've decided to do a video tutorial where beginner stuff is actually beginner stuff, and you can ask any questions without the fear of sounding stupid. So this tutorial will assume you don't know anything at all, and will start right from scratch all the way up to where you will be able to play your favorite songs. So that's what I'm planning to do with these videos. Let's get started. Now, this is a keyboard, as you may know, and these are the keys, and what jumps straight at you is the color, and that's the white keys and that's the black keys. Okay, so how do you identify, how do you know what to play? Now we're starting right from scratch like I promised. Now let's take a closer look at the black keys. Okay, these are the black keys, and if you take a closer look, you'd realize that the black keys are grouped in twos and threes. Now look, that's a group of two, that's a group of three, that's a group of two, that's a group of three, that's a group of two, that's a group of three. And this is quite important because it's going to help us to know what to play, and I'm going to get there now. So now let's take that group of two black keys, and let's identify another one. That's another one, that's another one, that's another one. How about a group of three black keys? That's another one, that's one there, that's one there, and so on. So let's come right to round about the center of the keyboard. So, and look for the group of two black keys. That's the one that's closest to the center. Now, these are the group of two black keys. Okay, that's important because for your first lesson, we're always interested to find the key of C. That's where you start from. So after identifying the group of two black keys, which is that one here, now the key that's right before the black key, the white key that's before the black key, that's the one. So when I say before, it's to the left. After, so because it goes up that way. So keys, the notes are getting higher that way, and then getting lower. So when I say before, it's to the left, and after it's to the right. So now the key that's before or to the left of the group of two black keys, that key before, that white key before, is that one. Guess what? That's your C key. Now let's take another group of two black keys. Let's take that one. That's the group of two black keys, and that key, the white key that's before the first group of two black keys, the first note there, that's it, and that's C. Let's take another one. Group of two black keys, the white key before, to the left, that's C. Group of two black keys, that's C. Group of two black keys, that's C. So that should be three black keys, but it doesn't continue. It's got to stop somewhere. And that's exactly how to identify the C key. So there you go. That's your first lesson. You know how to identify the C key. Now, guess what? If that's the C key, it makes sense that that's the D, because it's going that way to the right. D, and that's E, and that's F, and that's G. Now, E, F, G, there isn't any H in keyboard world. That's an A. So it goes all the way to G, and then it starts right back from A. And that's B, and that's, guess what? Group of two black keys, C. And it loops, and that's how it goes on and on and on like that. So you can start anywhere. You can go to group of two black keys, the white key before it, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and so on. And now if I ask you, where is D? You can say, okay, I've got to find the group of two black keys first. So that's a group of two black keys, that's a C. If that's a C, then that would be a D. Where's an E? Around here. So if that's a group of two black keys, that's a C, that's a D, and that's an E. And that's how it is. So C, D, E, G, that's another G, that's another G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Remember, it goes back to G, G, F, E, D, C. And you can take some time to practice these. Just go up and down the keyboard trying to identify the white keys. So, group of two black keys, C, group of two black keys, C, D, E. How do you identify F? That's an F. And also you can say that group of three black keys, that will be an F. Group of three black keys, that's an F, because that's a C, D, E, F. You can work your way, choose whatever works for you to identify. As you do it, you get used to it and you become faster. Before we continue, can I just take 10 seconds of your time to tell you about my brand new course? So if you're a beginner and you're looking to learn everything you need to learn to play a piano by ear like this, in a very, very short space of time, with about 15 minutes practice every single day, just 15 minutes, then this course is for you. So click the link below and have a look at what's inside the course, the modules, the lessons, and so on, and also the free access to me one-on-one, and see if it's the right fit for you. Now, I know what you're asking. If we have identified the white keys, how about the black keys? Okay, this is where we're getting at right now. So now that's C, group of two black keys, that's C. If that's C, what is that? So the black keys are named after the white keys. So it depends on what position they are. I'm going to tell you what I mean. So that's C. The black key that's on top of it to the right is called a C sharp. C, C sharp. C, that's a C sharp. That's a C sharp. That's a C sharp. That's a C sharp. Okay, now let's guess what? What do you think that's going to be? That's a D. That's a D sharp. D, D sharp. The black key to the right, D sharp. D, black key to the right, D sharp. Now here's the fun part. This can be called a C sharp or a D flat. Why? Because that can either be a flat or a sharp. It depends on what position it is. So it's a C sharp because it's to the right of C, and it's also a flat because it's to the left of a D. So that's you can call this a C sharp or a D flat. And this could be a D sharp or an E flat. This can be G sharp or A flat. This can be A sharp or a B flat. And that's exactly how you name the black keys, depending on where they are in relation to the white keys. So go through the keyboard, try and identify the white keys and the black keys. Now there's something called a whole tone or the semitone, okay, or a whole step or a semi-step. And what that is from C to D, that's a whole tone. From D to E, that's another whole tone. Now from E to F, that's a semitone. And from F to G, that's a whole tone. Let me explain. So from here to here is a whole tone, and from here to here is a semitone. Okay, so all the spaces in between the keys are semitones. So from C to C sharp is a semitone. From C sharp to D is another semitone. Okay, and then from D to what's that? An E flat or a D sharp. That's another semitone. Okay, so let's take G. G to A, that's a whole tone or a whole step because we've gone 2 notes. Okay, but then that's half a note. You can even hear how it sounds. It's not complete. That's a whole tone. That's a semitone. Okay, so these are the spaces in between the keys. Half step, half step, half step, half step. So that's 2. That's a whole tone or a whole step. That's a whole step. That's a whole step because it's 2. That's a semitone or a half step, and so on. So you can learn the distances. Try that again and try and identify the distances. You can randomly pick any notes. Just do this. Okay, so that to that is a semi. Okay, because it doesn't have any black, so it's just one. That's the semitone. Okay, semitone. Again, that doesn't have any black. A semitone, a semitone, a semitone, a whole tone, 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 and so on. Now, the next thing for you to know is the scale. Okay, so we've identified that's the C. Okay, the C scale is that from C to C, or you can say from C to that. So it has from that, let's just say from that to that. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and from that to that is called an octave. An octave contains 8 keys. Okay, and the C scale contains all the white notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's the C scale. Okay, and don't worry about that. You get to that the way I've done that. Just know for now, C to C, that's an octave. C to C, that's an octave. That's a C scale. That's a C scale. C, that's a C scale. Okay, 8 keys. Okay, or you can say 7 keys and then it starts repeating from a C again. Now, if we take another key, say the D will have another way to play the scale. Okay, so the D, for example, is that's another scale. So the D has another pattern to run a scale. So that's a D scale. And also for E, it's totally different. For F, so that's an F. That's an F scale. Okay, but for now, we're concentrating on the C scale because that's the easiest to start with. Don't bother yourself with the F scale or the E or the D scale. Start with a C scale. That's where you can learn and then build up and then start going into other notes or other scales. So now the way to play the C scale, you've noticed I did this earlier. Don't worry about that. You don't have to go that fast. Now, the fingers are numbered, okay? And the number system goes like this. So that's 1, the thumb, 2, the index finger, 3, the middle finger, 4, the ring finger, or whatever you call it, and then 5, the pinky. And the same goes for the left hand. Starts the thumb, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so for the right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to place it on the C scale. Okay, the thumb will go on the C. And then the index finger will go on the next note, which is the D, and so on. That will go there, that will go there, and that will go there. If you can place it nice and easy, notice that I haven't done that, or I haven't done that. I've placed it relaxed, a little bit of curve there, and I've not played any note. I've just placed it very, very relaxed. Okay, I've not done that, and I've not done that. I've just done that. Okay, now each finger is on each of the notes. Okay, so now you can play the thumb, which is 1, the index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the pinky, and then palm all the way back. And this is an exercise you can keep doing until you get faster and faster. You don't have to go faster at first. Make sure you're keeping to the rhythm. It's best for you to go slow, but keeping to the rhythm, than just doing. You don't have to do that. Just nice and easy first. And then you keep doing that. And you can also do that for the left hand as well. So for the left hand, we're going to start from the pinky on the C. So we're coming a little bit to the left. Rather than starting on the C here, we're starting on the C here. So that's the pinky, will go here. And then the next key, the next finger will go on the next note, and so on. That will go on there, that will go on there, and that will go on there. Again, nice and easy. I've not pressed any notes. I've kept my fingers relaxed and curved. I've not done that, I've not done that, I've just done that. Okay? And first key, the C. The next one. And notice I've not pressed that and then press that all together. So you press that, lift, and then press the next one. Lift, press, lift, pressed, press, and so on. Notice I'm not doing this, because you might be tempted to do this. Try as much as possible to keep your fingers right there, like that. It might be difficult at first, but this is your goal. Try and make your fingers stay as close to the keys as possible, and then you press the notes. Yeah, you might find yourself doing this. That's still okay for starters, but don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do that. Just like that. Okay, so we've got 5 fingers. So now you're wondering, how do we play all the keys on the scale? Okay, that goes back to what I did earlier. Okay, and I'll show you and break it down for you. All right, so again, we're putting all our fingers on the keys, starting from C, the thumb on the C, and so on. Nice and easy and relaxed. So we go 1, 2, 3. One thing I need to mention is the keys on the keyboard have numbers as well. Your fingers have numbers, and then the keys have numbers as well. So that starts from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I might have mentioned it earlier, so I just thought to mention it again. So we go 1, 2, 3. Watch what happens. I've just done something sneaky there, but that's the way to do it. So again, we start 1, 2, 3, and I've taken the thumb and I've just brought it all the way under to press the next note, and then carry on. Again, so because we have 5 fingers, we can only play up to there, so we've got to find a way to carry on. So 1, 2, 3, thumb under, while you're still pressing that one, just your thumb under like that, and then the next note, which is the F, the 4, and then bring your fingers back to carry on. And you've got to practice that as well. So it doesn't have to be dramatic the way I'm doing it, so it doesn't have to be like that. I'm just explaining, so it can just, you know, nice and simple like that. And how do we get back down? Watch it again. Go all the way to the thumb, and then the middle finger on top comes to play this, like that. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm talking about the fingers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then coming back down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And then you can keep going up and down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can come back down. You can keep doing this. You don't have to be this fast. Sorry. That's a great exercise for you to start doing. Nice and slowly at first. I'll suggest this tempo. At first. And then when you're getting better, you can start increasing. Now, if we look at the left hand, it's the inverse version of the right hand. So this time we're going all the way up and we're starting with the pinky. Okay, so again, the pinky, like that, nice and easy. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we remember what we did coming back with the pinky is exactly what we're going to do with the pinky going up on the left hand. So all the way to the thumb. That middle finger crosses over from the top. Again. Coming back down is exactly going up from the thumb. So 1, 2, 3, cross under. And then you do this exercise after you must have done the first one. Going up and down with your 5 fingers first. You can start slowly. And you do the same thing. Slow the pace. Then you can now try the crossing version, going all the way to the top. And that's how to play the scale on the C key. Now you'll be wondering what chords are. Now, it's not rocket science. Chords are just a group of keys played together. So now let's go back to the C key and then the C scale. Okay, so now the first chord we are going to play is the C major scale, the C major chord. Okay, what is the C major chord? Obviously, because that's the C scale, everything we're doing is going to be on all these white keys because we're dealing with the C key, and its journey is on all these white keys. Like I said earlier, if it's the D scale, the journey is slightly different. It goes like that. But we're dealing with a C scale. So the journey is all these white keys because it's nice and easy for you to spot. That's where we're starting from. So the C chord, the C major chord is the C, E, and the G. Now try and play that all over the keyboard. So that's another one, that's another one, that's another one. Let's go back to the middle. So the C, the E, and the G. And then with the right hand, you play exactly with the thumb, the middle finger, and the pinky. So try and play that like that. Try and not do that, try and not lift. You might find it difficult at first, but just try and, play that without your hands going that way. So that's the C major chord. That one. That's another one. And you can play that with the left hand as well. Again, the pinky, one, this is the 5 finger, the 5, the 3, and the 1 on the left hand. That's the C major chord. Now there are different ways to play a chord, and that's called inversions. Okay, so let me show you what an inversion is. So that's a C major, which is the C, E, and G, a C major chord. Now guess what? There are different ways to play this. And what it means, what an inversion means, is you're just simply rearranging the way the chords are structured. Same notes, same key, but rearranged differently. So that's C, E, G. So you can play the same C chord, C major chord, with this C taken off from there and played up here. That's still a C major chord, just rearranged differently, and it's called a C major first inversion. So you've inverted it, that's the first inversion. You can go ahead and do that again. So that's still a C. Take this and put it up here. So the E here is taken off and then played up here. That's the C major second inversion. Okay? C major second inversion. Now, if you take that G, notice we're taking the notes at the bottom to the left. And if you take that G and if you play it there isn't any third inversion. We're back to C major, and it's called a root chord. There's the C major root chord. Okay? C major root chord. Take this, first inversion. So this is how you play it. Okay? Take this and play it there. The thumb, the index, and the pinky. First inversion. Take this away and play it here. Second inversion. Take this away and play it here. No third inversion, back to the root C chord. And you can keep doing that. First inversion, second inversion, root, first, second, root. And that's how it is. Left hand. Root, first, second, root. And that's how you can keep playing the inversions. Now let's touch briefly on another note, okay, just to give you an idea, but it's just safe for you to start with a C key for now, not to intimidate yourself. But we're going to touch slightly on the, say for example, the D, okay, so that's a D, and that's the scale on a D, okay? It takes another root, and you notice there's that black key and that black key on a D scale, and the way you play it, so is one, okay? And if you want to go all the way to the next D, you go 1, 2, 3, same concept, thumb under, and then come back. So same concept but different notes. That black key is included in the D scale, okay? And we have different roots for different keys. That's an F. Now for an F, now it applies slightly differently. So you go, because the way it's structured, and there's got to be a way we play. We can't do that. It's not easy to do 1, 2, 3 and then bring the thumb on top there. So we'd rather do 1, 2, 3, 4 and then change 1, 2, 3, and then it ends here because we did 4 there, and then we can come back, okay, and then that's for the F. Like I said, don't bother with the different notes for now, the different keys, don't bother with that for now. Let's concentrate. This just to give you an idea how the different keys and the different scales work. Okay, so back to the key of C. Now you notice that I mentioned that that was the major chord. So which means there's a minor chord. Okay, the minor chord is that. Okay, and first, before I show you the chord, I will like to show you the scale of C minor. Okay, so for a C major scale, we did say it went like that, all the white keys. But for the minor, still on C, it has a slightly different root, and it starts on C. Okay, so that's C, D, D sharp, and then F, G, G sharp, A sharp, and then back to C. And that's how you notice, because, you know, it sounds a little bit, it's not as bright as or happy as this here. It sounds a little bit saddish and a little bit, I don't know, you know, it's a strange sound to it. Can you hear that? And these are the notes you hear in jazz songs, for example, because that's just the nature of jazz. So again, you go 1, 2, 3, change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then come back all the way to the thumb, and then so you can practice that as well. So this is the minor scale. And you can do the short version as well. And for the left hand, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then crossover, and then back, and then change. So that's the C minor scale. And then from the C minor scale, just like we did for the C major scale, we identify the scale before we identify the chords. So the chords are going to be built on the scale. So for the C minor chords, we're building it on these scales right here. So for the C minor chord, this is a C minor chord. The C, the D sharp, or the E flat, and then a G. You can hear how it sounds jazzy, different from this bright note here. Do you see where I'm coming from? Sounds jazzy, so don't worry about that. So that's it, and that's it as well. Now, can you guess the inversion? Obviously, because that's the first, oh no, that's the root, C minor. Now, for the first inversion, can you guess what the first inversion will be? Remember what we did the last time? We took the bottom, the one to the left, that's the C. We removed it and then we played it on top. That remains the same. We play it here. We'll play it that way. Root, first inversion, and then second inversion, we take that off again and we play it on top here. So take off, or second inversion, and then we take that off again and play it here. No third inversion, back to root. And you can do this as exercise as well. Lastly, in this series, I'd like to show you what is called arpeggios. Okay, so arpeggios are nothing but chords, broken chords. Okay, so broken chords are chords that you're playing, but instead of playing them at the same time, you're playing them sequentially, one after the other. I'll show you. So that's a C major, and this, that's an arpeggio. It's still a C major chord, but I'm playing it one after the other. And I can play that. And rather than playing, stopping there, I can do this with both hands. And I can do it in different ways. I can do that. And then repeat. Like broken inversions. So first inversion, arpeggio, second inversion, arpeggio. So no, that's a root, arpeggio, first inversion, second inversion, root, first, second, root, and then back. Some people do it this way. There are different ways. And you can use the help of both hands. They're different. You can do it any which way you want. It sounds nice and it colors songs. So you can do or I'm sure you've heard this many times in songs, slow songs, love songs. And you can do the same for the minors. You can keep practicing this all day until you get used to it. This is minor. I'm sticking to the minor here. Minor C chord. Okay, and this is a major.